Let me just say it. Kim was right.
I have the best advice for women in business. Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's so true.
You have to surround yourself with people that want to work.
If you're the smartest person in that room, you got to go to another room. Like, you don't, I want to be around really successful people because that's going to drive me to be successful.
Oh, it's just a lifestyle, or oh, it's like really quick and easy and you can just post something, and it's not easy. When you do product shots, when you do post things that are work-related posts, it's still a job and it's still really hard, and success is never easy. So you just, if you put in the work, you will see results. It's that simple.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and a new video from me. If you are new here, big welcome to you. Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. In today's video, I'm going to share my thoughts about Kim K telling business women to get their A's up and work harder. Now, I'm not usually a commentary channel, but I got interested in this topic due to my own complicated relationship with work, identity, and self-worth. For one, I'm a person with a lot of entrepreneurial and creative traits in me, so I've always loved to make stuff like hair products, hair jewelry, clothing, and always done little side hustles trying to sell those stuff, but none of that ever ended up being a fruitful business. It was just fun for me and a little bit of my entrepreneurial dreams to try things like that. I'm also a person who heavily ties my self-worth to having a good job or having a very successful career, meaning that my abilities, my sense of competency is really validated when I have a good job to show for it, or a successful career. Meaning when I don't have a good job, I feel less than. If I don't have a job at all, like currently, I feel worthless. However, this is something I'm constantly struggling with, and right now I'm actually in a good place with that, so don't feel bad for me. But I have highly identified with having a good job, which I think too many people of us, we do that, and it hasn't helped having this hustle culture constantly remind us how much of a work ethic we need to have. That is really the background to why I wanted to make this video. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on those work hard comments, and yeah, let's get straight into this video. So my personal opinion about this whole thing is that Miss Kim K had some points, especially when you think about it in a social media context. People who do social media influencing and things like that, a lot of people don't understand how much work it actually takes behind the scenes when it comes to strategizing, planning, writing scripts, filming, editing, all of those things. It takes a lot of work, especially if you don't have a whole team as she probably does. So if she thinks it's a hard work, imagine all those influencers that you follow, and if they're doing it by themselves, it's a lot of work. If you're outside of that world of influencing, a lot of people don't understand it, so they try to get into that world because there is a lot of money to make and be like, oh, this is easy, let me just do this and get all these brand deals and all of those things. But then they realize, oh, it's just so much work, so tiring, it's very easy to get burnt out, and so they just let it go. I do definitely feel like those comments felt very off because it came out of their privileged mouths. And also, she sounded kind of frustrated, almost angry when she was saying it. So I was like, oh, is this something personal? Because she came out and said it with her whole chest. I was like, okay. I'm just thinking a tip for you, Miss Kimberly, is to give your bitter medicine with a little bit of honey. You have to baby people with their messages, because that's one thing that I've learned. Whatever tone you're using, that makes a huge difference when you deliver a message and how people are going to receive it. Nonetheless, I do think she had a point. Nothing comes to the person who stands still. Closed mouths don't get fed. Early bird gets the worm. I think that's the saying. You know what I mean. One thing that I do think she was wrong about is that hard work will always result in good results, because that's simply just not true. A lot of people around the world work so hard every single day, and the best thing they can hope for is like a meager pension. Maybe not even that, especially if you live in USA and gonna send kids to college. It's gonna be hard. There are people right now, children right now, working in factories, sweatshops, climbing into mines, extracting minerals for our electronic devices. I know I'm extra, but this is what people live with every day, inhaling those toxic fumes. There are people who are in war zones right now, and their whole life's worth of work, which most of us invest that in a home, in an apartment, that may be bombed by a missile in just one day. So to say that if you just work hard, you will get there, not true. to get there, you do have to work hard, but just because you work hard does not mean that you are going to get there, if you understand what I mean. Life is just not fair. We have limited resources, meaning that if some people are going to be rich and wealthy, some people must be poor and have nothing to their names, because that's just how limited resources work. That's how capitalism works. There's got to be losers for there to be winners. And when it comes to influencing, there needs to be viewers for somebody to be viewed and be the walking billboard so they can get money. So when she says things like just work hard and you will get there, you will see the results, I just like think about people like my mother who've been slaving away at nursing homes since she was a young woman my age, and she has nothing material to show for it, like no car, no home ownership. All her results have been fed into us kids that she's been working so hard for. So thank God her kids, have now professional careers, self-sufficient most of the time. Me, of course, I've stepped back a little bit in that regard ever since I moved to US, but hopefully I'll get there. Her results was in us, the future generation. So for a lot of people, they are really working hard and sacrificing themselves for their kids, and they're not really gonna reap the benefit other than hopefully their kids might help them when they're older. Another interesting comment that was brought up in that piece was Chloe's comment about if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change room. I think she was absolutely right about that, because that is an old saying. That's something that every self-improvement coach says, every self-help guru, whatever, will say, because it is absolutely true. If you are the smartest person in the room, you're not excelling anymore. You're on a plateau. You're not growing. By surrounding yourself with people who are moving forward, who already reached the goal that you're trying to reach, you're going to be so much more motivated to hit your goals. This is something I said in my video, how I motivated myself to save 38K in 2 years to buy myself a home. I'll link the video down below or in the screen somewhere here. I have one point in that video where I said, surround yourself with like-minded people, because let's say you're on a savings journey and you're a bunch of people who love to party and spend a lot of money on nightlife. That is not going to help your savings journey. That is going to make it more difficult for you to stay on your path and be more disciplined. But if you are surrounded with lots of people who are also on a journey of like, oh, I'm gonna buy this new apartment, whatever, then there's really not much to explain to them. You can support each other, you can help each other out, and you can create like a little tribe of trying to move forward and reach the same goal. As humans, we mimic each other more than we actually think. So being in circles where slacking is more acceptable, it's the norm, we're definitely not going to reach as high as we would if we're in a room full of excellence where reaching the stars is the minimum. That is going to be a positive outward pressure to reach a little bit higher and fulfill our highest potential. It's no coincidence that in each field, in each professional field, whatever, there are hubs of like-minded people who kind of network with each other. So I completely agree with what Chloe said about if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change room and try to get into the place where you are going to be challenged and try to grow even more. Another thing that came to my mind when I was listening to that video was like, is she talking to ladies working 9-to-5s or ladies who have Etsy shops on the sides like myself? If you haven't checked out my Etsy shop yet, I'll put the link in the description box down below. So who was Kim really talking to? I have a feeling she was directing her words to people in her field, the influencer world, people who are maybe from her background, Calabasas brats, LA brats, people who were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, so they've always had whatever they wanted, they've always had whatever they needed, but seen like, oh, this is our peer, Kim Kardashian went to high school together, whatever private schools they went to, and they saw that whatever privilege she had, she leveraged it and created a $1 billion brand. And I'm like, I have pretty privilege, I have the social network of LA people, let me do the same. And it didn't work for them because they weren't willing to put in all the extra work it actually takes to be a content creator. I know I'm putting a lot of my assumptions and my own fantasies on top of this, but I can imagine women who grew up in Calabasas and things like that with rich parents and private school their whole lives. have that entitlement, like,
yeah, I'm pretty, I'm privileged.
whatever they've always wanted, they've received. We can think whatever about the Kardashians, but they did really manage to leverage that sex tape, to leverage their beauty, or changed themselves so that they became more beautiful, so people are more enchanted by them. I completely also feel like, due to that family's privilege on so many levels, pretty privilege, social privilege, financial privilege, their comments were very unsavory, came off very arrogant and just very unappealing, especially as it does really feel like they're a manufactured brand. They started off as walking billboards to anything, and it's more recently that they have their own successful businesses. The only business that I can think of that they built themselves was that Dash store that they had. I don't even think that one exists anymore. So obviously the only business that they built from the, supposedly built from the ground up themselves, is the one business that is now dead. And all the other businesses after all of this hype around them, that's what's living right now. That's why I think it's a big reason to why we're side-eyeing them saying these comments, because it's like, the only business you had that you built yourself is now dead. I think if the comments would have come from somebody like Pat McGrath, or the people who created Shea Moisture, you know, they created these tangible products in their garages somewhere and slowly had it grow without any social media clout, without any sex tapes, all of that, and it was a genuine business, the classic entrepreneurial story. All in all, I do understand why people felt some type of way about those comments. It was just very arrogant and unsavory. However, I also think that people were quite quick to react and be outraged because it's the Kardashians, and people who don't like the Kardashians really don't like them. So I just feel like if you look at the clip with a neutral mind, there's really not that much to be emotional over. But who knows, maybe I'm giving the Kardashians too much benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were directing their words at us commoners, at us normies. Who knows? That was my take on the whole situation. Please let me know what you thought. Do you think that Kim had a point about it? Do you think she was directing her words to us normies, or to the rich LA brats trying to follow the same path that her and her family did? Or do you think that that family is just completely detached from most people's realities and we shouldn't even listen to what they have to say? I would love to read your comments and thoughts down below in the comment section. If you are interested in cute pillowcases like this, please feel free to visit my Etsy shop, Mavazi Crafts, where I do sell these really cute kitenge pillowcases. I'll put the link down in the description box below, and you can support my entrepreneurial efforts if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, thank you so much guys for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and see you in my next video. Bye!